You have no privacy online. Here is what you need to know. Privacy is an aspect of computing we don't take very seriously anymore, and no matter how many privacy-focused tools you use, you can never ever be 100% anonymous and completely see-through in this online world. First of all, I would like to start this off by talking about virtual private networks, VPNs. Now, sure, a VPN can definitely come in handy for certain things, such as accessing geo-restricted content, hiding your real online identity, and so on and so forth. However, you are putting your trust into the company that manages that VPN services, and while most of them do not keep a track record of your activity, some companies have been known to let their users down in the past, and apparently, the VPN companies rent servers. They do not own them, so this is a bit concerning to say the least, and your computer, phone, or tablet will most certainly keep a track record of where you have been on the web, unless you use a browser like Tor, where no history is kept at all. Your search history is still visible to your ISP once you stop using the VPN, so please do not think for a second that using a VPN will make you completely anonymous. It will not, and that's the way things are unfortunately. So unless you're prepared to scrub your hard drive or reset your phone every time you use a VPN, you really should not be using them, unless you can trust the company to not collect any of your search terms, browsing history, etc., and your government can and most certainly will monitor you more closely if you're constantly using VPNs, as this could raise potential suspicion for law enforcement and make them more likely to red flag activity you may be doing, and the worst part is, you have no idea if the police of your country are even monitoring you. It all happens silently and behind closed doors, and using a VPN tells them you're trying to circumvent the norms of the internet, but at least in a country like Australia, New Zealand, or the UK, and most places in the world, you can use a VPN worry-free, because we are relatively open and free, and the governments do not restrict our access to media or content online. However, we can still have advantages when using VPNs, such as accessing streaming sites in America which have far better quality of content than what they do in Australia, for example. Your Internet Services Provider, ISP, also constantly monitors your every move, search, etc., and when you sign up to use their internet service, they can suspend it if you are found to be doing illegal or unlawful activity, or doing something that violates their Terms of Services agreement, and your ISP knows everything about you, your home address, your phone number, how old you are. They know as much details about you as you have given them, and you cannot always change providers easily, as some areas, the specific provider may not provide coverage to that area. Another thing you need to know is that your operating system you use is always monitoring your activity, regardless of the system you use, whether it's Windows, Mac OS, Android, iOS. The only exception here is Linux because most, if not all distributions do not collect or send any sort of personal data back to a big tech company, but even some Linux distros, such as Ubuntu, do have forms of telemetry included, but it's anonymized and can easily be disabled, unlike in Windows, where Microsoft makes it virtually impossible to turn off all of the included telemetry and tracking included. Your operating system keeps a constant track record of where you have been on the web, what programs you have installed and uninstalled, how long you have been using your OS for, etc., so do not think that your operating system is respectful towards your privacy by any means whatsoever, especially Windows, Mac, Android and iOS users. You guys are at the mercy of the company, and they are harvesting your data like it's going out of fashion. Finally, your web browser is a big way that companies, sites, and all, collect your data. Web browsers like Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Mozilla Firefox, and even Brave browser, all have some form of telemetry included, but Brave is more respectful towards privacy, but even it encourages you to send anonymized telemetry data, even the most secure and anonymous browser, to your browser. Even that is not enough to be 100% invisible, and you have to ask yourself, what are you doing online that needs that level of high security and privacy? And search engines are also a big way of harvesting your data. Google, Bing, Yahoo, Yandex, whatever. They all collect your data, especially Google and Bing. Social media is also a big no-no if you're concerned about privacy, as even if you delete an account, they can pull it out of the trash bin anytime it's requested. The police can, at any time, request data from your online accounts, and this goes for social media accounts. So anyone who engages in some sort of online activity considered unlawful will instantly get attention from the cops. So you're an idiot if you think you're private, and at the same time, you post or comment on social media. It really is stupid how people think they can be private when they do something that completely contradicts those terms. Mobile phones are not private at all, because you're often registered with the mobile service carrier. That carrier knows your bank account details, because you often have to set up a debit or credit card, to which your plan is paid for using the available money on your card, and your phone literally tracks your every move. On Wi-Fi, or on mobile data, SIM cards can reveal your real location quite easily, and this is another way cops can easily catch someone doing something bad, especially if a mobile phone is involved. And if you know Edward Snowden, you know how much of a security expert he is. He would heavily advise against using mobile phones for banking, shopping, whatever, because of how bad for privacy they are. At the end of the day, there is nothing me, you, or anyone else can do about this. We are powerless. All we can do is trust whoever we put our data with, whether that's with a VPN company, your ISP, or even the search engine and browser you use. No service online is private. Even the ones that claim to be private might actually not be private at all. DuckDuckGo is a perfect example of this, and I do trust their no logs policy. They seem tried and true as a private search engine. However, I do not know if they actually collect logs of your data. It would be most disappointing if they did. However, no study or research proves DuckDuckGo has been falsely advertising, nor does anything show that they collect your search terms, data, whatever. So I can safely assure you that even with other people saying these privacy tools are not private, they are. It's just that they are not as private as you think. The same goes for most Linux systems. While they do not collect telemetry, some, such as Ubuntu, encourage the user to send telemetry data, which is then used to iron out bugs, fix security flaws, and often improve the operating system. So I am okay if a Linux distro collects some of my data for the better. However, since 99% of distros don't collect your data, I do not worry about that. Linux Mint has no tracking included whatsoever. The team of developers even say so themselves, but I would still be cautious and take some things with a grain of salt, because sometimes, it's those that are closest to you that will hurt you the most. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you next video. Bye for now.